Into the Abyss, penned by the esteemed Canadian journalist Carol Shaben, is a gripping real-life narrative published in 2012. It recounts the harrowing tale of the 1984 crash of a small commuter aircraft in the remote Canadian wilderness. Among the 10 passengers, only 4 survived: the pilot, a Canadian Mountie, his prisoner, and Larry Shaben, the author's father. Through vivid prose, Shaben chronicles their desperate struggle against freezing temperatures during a fateful night and delves into the enduring emotional aftermath of the crash. Shaben, who was on assignment in the Middle East at the time, learned of her father's ordeal and the crash itself 2 days later through an article in the Jerusalem Post. Into the Abyss stands as a moving homage to the resilience and bravery exhibited by the survivors, a testament recognized by its receipt of the 2013 Edna Staeler National Award for Nonfiction. The narrative commences with an exploration of the crucial role played by small commuter airlines in connecting remote Canadian communities with larger urban centers, facilitating essential transportation of both people and goods. However, Shaben also sheds light on the sobering reality of the often inadequate safety standards and higher crash rates associated with many regional carriers, including Wapiti Air, the operator involved in the tragic events of 1984. Shaben meticulously recounts the sequence of events leading to the catastrophe. On a snowy October evening, 9 passengers set out for their destinations in northern Alberta aboard a Piper Navajo Chieftain piloted by the youthful Eric Vogel. At just 24 years old, Vogel, employed by Wapiti Air, aspired to accumulate flight hours to advance his career prospects towards securing an airline transport pilot license and transitioning to a major airline. Despite facing challenging weather conditions, Vogel, feeling the weight of expectations from his superior, Dale Wells, was compelled to push forward, earning him the moniker of a bush pilot. Fellow pilots cautioned Vogel about the dubious reputation of Wapiti Air, citing a history riddled with safety violations and subpar aircraft maintenance practices. Nonetheless, Vogel, driven by his deep-seated passion for flying inherited from his father, a pilot and politician, persists in his pursuit of accruing flight hours. However, as he prepares for his flight on this particular night, apprehension gnaws at him. The weather forecasts bleak conditions, compounded by the absence of a co-pilot and the prospect of navigating an airport devoid of air traffic control, all while possibly burdened with an aircraft carrying excessive fuel and baggage. Among the passengers is Larry Shaben, returning home after a week's service as the first Muslim cabinet minister in the Alberta legislature. Familiar faces populate the cabin, including his neighbor from the college and Grant Notley, the prominent figure in the New Democratic Party. Additionally, there's Constable Scott Deschamps of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP, a robust outdoorsman whose career trajectory is on an upward trajectory, yet torn between professional ambitions and familial aspirations with his wife, Mary. Accompanying Deschamps is his prisoner, Paul Richard Archambault, whose criminal history includes charges of breaking and entering and robbery. Despite his checkered past, Archambault exudes charm and camaraderie, prompting Deschamps to momentarily remove his restraints during the flight. Vogel finds himself caught in a dilemma, pressured by Dale Wells to proceed with the flight to High Prairie, despite adverse weather conditions necessitating a visual approach, a violation of Ministry of Transport regulations. The prospect of jeopardizing his license looms large. As ice accumulates on the windshield and propellers, compounded by the malfunctioning automatic direction finder, Vogel initiates his descent into High Prairie prematurely, resulting in a catastrophic collision with a snowy hillside at a staggering speed of 175 nautical miles per hour. The impact shears off the plane's wings, separates the engines, and tears back the roof, leaving the aircraft inverted and buried nose-deep in 3 feet of snow. Archambault emerges from the wreckage with minor cuts and promptly lends aid to the other survivors. He extricates Deschamps from the snow-covered debris of the plane, initiating a fire and gathering additional layers of clothing from the scattered luggage. Meanwhile, the remaining trio sustains severe injuries. Vogel possibly suffers from a punctured lung, Deschamps bears a broken rib cage, while Larry Shaben endures a fractured rib and tailbone, along with a broken finger and teeth. Moreover, his sight is compromised due to the loss of his glasses. In the grueling 15-hour ordeal amidst sub-zero temperatures, the quartet draws strength from one another, exchanging personal narratives and pondering hypothetical wishes. Shaben juxtaposes their struggle with the reactions of their families upon receiving the distressing news and the ensuing rescue efforts that swiftly commence. Though rescued the following day, their lives are irrevocably altered. Archambault is hailed as a hero, absolved of his prior charges. However, despite a brief stint of reformation, subsequent car accident and marital strife plunge him back into the throes of addiction. Tragically, he succumbs in 1991. Deschamps, on the brink of death during the chilling aftermath of the crash, finds solace in a comforting spiritual presence. Departing from the police force, he embarks on a global quest for enlightenment, forging a close bond with Vogel. Eventually, Deschamps establishes a family and resumes his career in law enforcement. Vogel transitions to firefighting, while Larry Shaben is plagued by haunting nightmares of the crash. Departing from his political career, he becomes a fervent advocate for interfaith tolerance within the Muslim community, fostering unity among disparate factions. Sadly, he succumbs to cancer in 2008, before the completion of Into the Abyss. Nonetheless, Shaben manages to share manuscript drafts with her ailing father during his hospitalization, ensuring his connection with the narrative endures. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.